you looking for a car that can get 30 miles per gallon, has more than 200 horsepower, 6-speed manual transmission, 4 doors, actually 5-door if you count the hatch. It's pretty comfortable on long trips. Well, I might have the car for you. 2016 Ford Focus ST. This is the third year in the United States for the Ford Focus ST. I purchased it in December 2015. This version of the ST came to the United States in 2013. There's a few little changes from this one to the other one, from bumper, rear bumper for the exterior changes, and then some interior stuff, like it doesn't have that boomerang handbrake anymore, and the cup holder center console part is a little bit different. Engine-wise, still the same, 2-liter turbo, 252 horsepower, 270 pound-feet of torque. Like I said, gets 30 miles per gallon on the freeway. I am selling this one because I have recently purchased a Volkswagen GTI, and I don't need 2 of these cars. My fault is that I get bored with cars, so I change them every couple of years. I can't do leases because I drive too much, so I purchased this one. I've already got 52,000 miles on it. It's a lot of miles for how long I've had it, but I've taken really good care of it. It's never been in any accidents. I've never tracked the car. I get to drive pretty fast cars on a regular basis, so I don't need to track this one. This is just my daily driver. I've driven it a lot to LA from San Diego and back. That's where the majority of driving has come. Longest trip I've ever done in it, I went to Salt Lake City, Utah. And so that was about a 700-mile trip. Car does really well on long distance. It's got a great footprint. So I'm just gonna do a little, just kind of briefly go over the car, just kind of show you that it runs and drives and everything like that. It's got keyless entry. Use the key fob, which I have in my pocket. Once you touch the door, right here, it unlocks all the doors. This is not the tires it came with. It came with the Goodyear Eagle F1s, which is the standard tire. I put these Continental tires, Extreme Contact DWS 06s on it. I put them on, it is now October. I put them on in June or July, around there. I think I had about 46,000 miles when I put them on. Great tire. I actually like these a little bit better. They're an all-season tire, and I like them better than the tire that came with. They're a little bit, they feel softer. They make the ride feel a little bit more supple, a little bit more compliant, and I like that. It has the one-touch up and down on all 4 windows, which is kind of nice. Power mirrors. It also has a little blind spot mirror there, which is really nice for visibility, especially since the belt line of this car kind of goes up a little bit. I have done the oil changes. The interval on this is about 10,000 miles, but I have done it, let's see, somewhere between 8,500 and 9,500 miles every oil change. So a little bit before the interval, before the actual warning comes on and tells you, because it does come on every 10,000. It does have the automatic headlights. It has the one-touch lane change blinker, which is nice. You don't have to put the blinker down all the way. It does have push-button start. It has the 3 gauges up here, which boost gauge, your oil temperature, and your oil PSI. I've tried to wash the car. It's a black car. It's really hard to keep clean. I've tried to wash it at least once a week. It does have the original brakes on it, but the brakes still feel really good. It has center exhaust. Backup camera. This is the hatchback. Does have, which is nice, a full-size spare. Seats do fold down flat if you take the headrests off. Then it has the cargo cover there. Let's see what else. Let's see. Exterior-wise, it does have some scratches here. I'm not really sure. That has been there the whole time I've had the car. And then it has gotten a pretty good fair amount of rock chips from just driving up and down the freeway. It does have the regular headlights, not the bi-xenons. It does have fog lights, which actually, what's kind of cool is the LED signature when you're driving the car actually looks pretty cool. So yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it for the exterior. It does have Bluetooth connectivity, which is nice. It hooks up with my phone pretty good. It has the USB there, a 12 volt there, and then there's another USB down in there with that auxiliary. It doesn't have the dual zone climate control, but it does have AC and pretty easy to use. Yep, CD player, but I've never used it. There's the 6-speed manual. So now I'm gonna hook this to the headrest and we will start it up and go for a drive. That way you can see that it runs and drives and everything. Actually, you know what? Let me pop the hood real quick so you can see under the hood. The vehicle's essentially pretty much stock. I've changed the engine air filter one time, cabin air filter one time. So there's it. 5W30. I've always used Motorcraft. I've even used Motorcraft windshield washer fluid when it needed more windshield washer fluid. That's how crazy I went with it. It did have to, there's some other videos I have on YouTube where I say I did have to take it in one time for the shifter bezel broke. It was covered under warranty, and then they had to reprogram the body control module because people were somehow unlatching the hatch while driving. So here we go. I'm gonna connect this here. So you're almost like a little passenger there. And let's see. All right, here we go. I guess you can probably see. Starts right up. Right now, saying 52,101 miles. Let's put the AC on. And I'm kind of close to the freeway here because I'd like to go show you guys it goes through all the gears up to 6th. This does have the what do they call it? The Syncro intake symposer, which makes the intake noise come through the cabin, which I kind of like. I don't know if you can hear that or not. It's 3rd gear there, 4th gear. You know, for a somewhat of a sporty car, it has a pretty firm ride, but it handles bumps really good. There's 6th gear. So we'll get on the freeway here. Handles really good. This car has surprised me. I didn't think it was going to be as good as it was. I knew it was going to be, you know, good car. It's going to be a fun car, but I didn't think it was going to be as good. It's been pleasantly surprising. But, you know, as you can see, it cruises good. Good brakes still. Clutch still feels good. It's a fun car. I've enjoyed it. Like I said, driven a lot on the freeway, so a lot of this type of driving, mainly from San Diego to LA. So, you know, every trip is like 100 miles there and back, 100 miles there, 100 miles back. So you tend to rack up a bunch of miles, but I jumped in my GTI the other day from, you know, I kind of drove them back to back, and it didn't, I mean, it still felt tight and new, and especially with the newer tires. There it is, pretty much. I'll get off at the next exit. I'm trying to think if there's, I have the 2 keys for it still. I've got the owner's manual, It's still under its powertrain warranty. It's 5-year, 60,000 mile powertrain warranty, so you still have, 7,900 miles, 7,800 miles left. It doesn't have the sunroof. I got the base ST because I wanted for a couple of reasons. One, I wanted the lightest one possible. Two, I wanted the least expensive one possible. The Recaros to me felt a little bit too much for like a regular daily driving seat, even though they felt really stiff. And I was worried that it was going to make the ride a little bit. Plus, for some reason, the Recaro in the ST sits high because it's on an electric motor. And so the base seat sits lower. And for, that just to me was, missed that. To me, that was the way I wanted it. So that's how I got it. One of the greatest things about this car is you don't need to shift a lot. It's got good torque because of the turbo motor. It keeps the the engine RPM. You're about 80 miles an hour is about 3,000 RPM on the freeway. You can keep it in 6th gear to pass people. You don't have to downshift to 5th, and it'll do 6th gear all the way down to like 40 miles an hour, and then the little the screen tells you to shift to 5. And you can, you could probably even go down to 30, but I don't want to lug the engine at all, so I shift to 5 at that point, but it's got plenty of torque. And if you look, like, the turbo doesn't even, unless you get on it and you get in, then the turbo comes on. So when you're cruising around, it's not really using too much of the turbo, and they set this car up really good. I'm actually really interested to see what the next generation is going to be like. I think 2019, they're skipping a year. But it's a great car. I don't think you would be disappointed, and I figure there's got to be somebody out there who maybe couldn't afford a new one. New ones, I think this MSRP is for like $24,900 or something like that, almost $25,000. And I know there's rebates right now, but that doesn't get it below $20,000. So you could get, I figure somebody could get this one, and if they drive the car and they'll realize that the mileage, yes, the mileage is high for how long I've had it or how old the car is, but it's been really, really well maintained. Like I said, I don't track the car or autocross or anything like that. So oil changes done regularly. Any maintenance that it's needed, I've done. Checking the air in the tires all the time. Alignment too, when I did the tires, 4-wheel alignment. They said it wasn't necessary, but I was like, well, you're putting new tires on it. Those tires are different, so. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Downshift down to 4 here. But yeah, you got any questions? Message me through this video or through my YouTube, and I'll answer them. If you want to come see the car, let me know. I sold a vehicle once through YouTube, so we can work it out. But yeah, that's pretty much it. And then there's the backup camera. It actually has 2 views. If you hit that button, it shows you a little bit down to the ground there, and then that's a more wide angle view. It has the little guidelines or whatever. Yep, that's it. Thanks for watching.